Okay, so this week I decided to manifest a man to help me with some reference images. So on Monday, I wrote out the spell. I added some ingredients to give it power, which were cloves, catnip, and rose petals. And I went down to the creek near my house where I go to cast a lot of my spells. Because I have a really strong relationship with the river spirits here, I bring them a lot of offerings to show my gratitude, and they help me with a lot of stuff. So I cast the spell here and it worked. I have the perfect man. I have not taken the photos yet, but I might be doing them tomorrow. However, there are some complications which I'm gonna get into in a minute, but first let me just explain why I'm doing this in the first place. So this summer I am writing and illustrating a graphic novel. And it's not like a traditional graphic novel, it's just single panels, like one picture with text, but I kind of have my own style, so it's all on my Patreon. You can read it and see it over there. There's a lot of free stuff on there. But I'm at the point in the story where the ex-lover comes back and it gets very steamy, and I wanted to do some illustrations of couples. And usually I make a lot of my own reference images because it's the best way for me to be able to draw what I'm already seeing in my mind. So I kind of just like act out this scene. And sometimes it's more mundane, sometimes it gets really outrageous, but it's an important part of the process for me when I'm illustrating. But to draw couples, obviously I can't really do that. So after so many hours of combing through Pinterest and Google Images and doing so many sketches, I finally found something that kind of worked, and it is this one. But still, like, it just wasn't exactly what I wanted. So I want to do another drawing like this, like the same scene, except switch the figures where he's kind of holding her like upside down, dipping her down, and her hair is falling like this, and the two snakes are meeting with their tongues almost touching. And obviously I can't do this by myself, so I need a man to help me with it. On Tuesday I struggled a lot with guilt just because what kind of godless whore does something like this? On Wednesday, I looked for some Moldavite, hoping that it would solve my problems for me. It still might. On Thursday, I got the perfect man to agree to do it. He's the ideal person because he looks exactly like this character. He can hold me upside down like this, and he already agreed to it. So great. And I think this spell came so easily because I was already kind of manifesting it in the back of my mind for the last couple weeks. But now I'm not sure if I actually want to do it with him. So on Friday, which was yesterday, I debated about it all day. And I felt like I had to sacrifice one thing or the other. Like either I have to say no to it and sacrifice the art that I want to make, or I have to sacrifice the temple of my body to get something that I want, which women have been doing for centuries, so it's not like it's that hard. And I'm still not sure. I'm not gonna get too much into it because for the sake of privacy and everything, but I just feel like I need to say it because I don't know, it's important. Basically, if I tell a man that, you know, he hurt me in some way and he doesn't care, or if I tell him not to do something, not to touch me a certain way, and he keeps doing it, and then he gets upset and gets defensive, I can't like be physically intimate with him anymore. Even if everything else is top shelf, even if he's super handsome, super fit, blah, 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 etc., etc. Even if everything else is perfect, it's just over for me. Or like in this case where he kept calling me bitch as a joke. And like, it was as a joke. It's like the way that friends call each other bitch. Bitch, please. You know, like I do it with my friends and stuff too. I call myself bitch as a joke sometimes. And I know he doesn't mean anything bad by it. But I just don't want my man to call me bitch. And if I tell you this and then you just make mean jokes and tell me I'm overthinking and I'm making a problem out of nothing and blah, 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 basically what happens is my whole body is just like shrinking up like this, and I don't want you to touch me anymore. And this can happen with like anything. If I say, you know, you hurt my feelings with this, and you tell me I'm just, you know, being crazy and everything. And so I was trying to resolve it, and like I told him, I explained this to him, and he didn't understand anything I was saying. And so now like I low-key do kind of feel like I am just crazy, because it's not worth it to, you know, get so upset over one thing that someone said wrong or something. But it's not just one thing, it's more the fact that I just feel like my feelings don't matter. And I don't know like if it's really that complicated or confusing, but he said I broke his brain when I tried to explain this. So, but I just feel like he deserves to be told about this stuff. So I'm still seeing him tomorrow, because we came to an understanding and now we're kind of okay. But I'm still not sure if I'm gonna like do the pictures with him. But you know what's funny? The character right now, at this point in the story, she is also dealing with a man who doesn't care how she feels. He's different, but like he's kind of similar to the man I'm talking about. And the chapters that I'm currently working on are gonna be about her dealing with that. And I literally just realized that as I'm filming this. And actually, that's why I'm doing these spells right now, because ever since the middle of May, a thing has been happening where the stuff I'm writing and illustrating has been happening in my life, and kind of vice versa. And there's this weird symbiotic relationship going on between my life and my art, but it hasn't been conscious or intentional, and I don't totally understand it. So I want to take the reins a little bit more with these kinds of spells. Now this spell is still open, and I'll keep you guys updated as soon as it's resolved, probably over email. But something that this whole experience this week with the spell and everything has reminded me of is that one of my biggest superpowers as a woman is validating my own feelings. Because if I wait for anyone else to do that for me, I'm betraying myself. That and trusting my intuition, because pussy knows. So I'll update you guys over email. Sign up at the email list on my website, and stay tuned for more art life manifestations. Blessed be.